Good day, everybody. Today we're going to do lesson plan 12, grade 2, term 2, and the topic is numbers 41 to 50. It also linked to worksheet 35 in our DBE book. So just have a look at worksheet 35 then in our DBE book. Let's go back to the lesson. Here you can then pause and you can see how it links to the CAPS curriculum. Then I'm going to show you the resources in the dictionary. The dictionary word for today is number line. Again, if you as adult need to know this to help your child or at school, then what you need is to pause here so you can then see the resources needed and so you can prepare for them. Remember, we can always use waste materials to do these resources. We don't always need very expensive resources. Okay, let's then go to the daily routine activity. Remember then, this is you can get from our SATeacher e-store, or you can simply ask these questions. Whose birthday is it today? What's the date? What is the time? Describe the weather outside. Show me left, right, up, down. Then show me down, up, right, left. Always nice to do this in a standing position. And then how many learners are absent today? Okay, so today's the counting activity, we're still going to count in tens between 0 and 150. So forwards and backwards. So 10, 20 up to 150 or 150 backwards. Remember also to use your concrete resources with this. That will be in the SATeacher counting library on our web store. After you did these activities, then ask them practical questions. If I have 20 packets of chips and Samuel has 50 packets of chips, who has the most? So make use of counting forwards and backwards to get answers. It's time to pause and to ask similar type of questions on the counting activity. Remember, by asking questions after we counted makes it real to the children. You can pause. Okay, welcome back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the mental mathematics. We're going to work between the number range 0 and 10, and we're going to add numbers. So the first one is 6 plus 2. The child can answer orally, or you can ask them to write down the answers, and you're going to pause the activity and quickly do these 10. Welcome back. I'm going to reveal the answers. You can quickly check or mark them before we carry on. Okay, let's then look at today, numbers 41 to 50. So what we can do is we can place a lot of little blocks or sticks on the learner's table. And then what we're going to say is every time if we have 10, so we're going to count out 10. As soon as we have it, we can make a rod, or we can take the sticks and we can put them together by using an elastic band. Remember, when using elastic bands at home and school, it can be dangerous. So explain to the child the safety rules around these. Then what we're going to do is we're going to ask the learner to count the objects. For example, we have here 40 objects. So it's in rods of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40. And then we got 3 units. So we got 43. Here also we got 40 sticks because they're in bundles of 10. And here we only have 2. So we have 41, 42. Remember, how more practical you work you do, how better your child will understand mathematics. Okay, let's then go to the cards. You can make these, you can draw these, or you can still keep it practically. So what we're going to do is we're going to read out these numbers loud. Then we're going to ask that we all need to look at 41 to 50. And what do you notice? Yes, we notice that 41 to 49 every time starts with a 4, 40. But 50 sounds different because it starts then with a 50. So 41, we're going to count up from 41 to 49, and then we're going to add 50. Then you can take out your 100 board. Again, you can contact us or you can get it from our e-store. So what the learner then needs to do is to identify where is 41 to 50 on the number board. And then what you're going to do is you're going to ask them first to give it to you in the order. So we go from the smallest to the biggest, and we're going to count then from the biggest to the smallest. Then we're going to ask them randomly, show me 45, show me 48, show me 42, and so on. Then you're going to ask more or less questions. So one more, one less. So what is one more than 45? What's one less than 45? What is two more than 45? What is two less than 45? You can also ask equal questions. 45 equals 40 to 45, but we can also say 45 minus 2 equals to 43. So 47 plus 1 equals to 48. So do a lot of these type of practical questions. And then what they can do is they can trace the numbers 41 to 50 on their worksheet, or they can do it in the air. We're then going to move to our different levels. Some of these activities we already done, but remember on the concrete level, if they still struggle, is to go back to the concrete level and to use different concrete resources to make these. Here, a very important note that learners should remember that the sizes of the objects do not influence the number of the object. So a big block and a small block, it's still one. So very important concept that they need to understand. So you can pause and you can do some practical activities. So what we're going to do now is we're going to then give the learners the base 10 blocks, and what they can do is then to match the base 10 blocks with a number. You can just make little cards with these numbers on it, or you can use your place value cards. Then what we're going to do with these type of cards, we're going to ask them to sort it from the smallest to the biggest. Again, a practical activity, and then from the biggest to the smallest. When you're done with this, we're going to move then to the worksheet. So the worksheet here that differs from the last worksheet is now they need to determine or count the number of beads. Remember, again, we're not going to count them individually because we know in one row we got 10. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. We're going to write the number. We're going to write down how we count it. We start with 40, 41, 42, 43. And then we're going to write it down in words. Please note that this space is not always enough, that you need to write these answers then in a writing book. But the counting of the beads are very, very important. Then we're going to ask them after they completed this is to write the numbers from the smallest to the biggest. And then we're going to ask them to give two numbers that are smaller and two numbers that are bigger than 45. The next part of the worksheet is you don't always need to redraw it, but what you're going to do is you're going to make groups of 10, see how much is left, and then you're going to write down the number. So for instance, if this is 42, we're going to make groups of 10 and write 40, and then if there's 2 left, we're going to write the 2. We can write 40 plus 2 equals to 42. Don't let them count these individually. Here we always give them an opportunity to make one of their own. Remember the number range, it must still be between 40 and 50. Then lastly, or maybe you already did it during the practical activity, is where they're going to trace then the numbers 41 to 50. We always give them something extra. So for this activity, they only have to do it to 50, but nothing wrong to let them already practice it up to 60. Then your problem solving. Here we got our problem for the day. You can solve it by using concrete resources, or by using a picture, or by using your number cards. Then coming to the consolidation. The consolidation, what you're going to do, if you ticked everything yes, you can carry on to the next worksheet. If you have some no's, you need to go and revisit, revise certain questions, concepts, or you need to contact us at SATeacher.